January 20th, 2014. In part one of this, we were talking about gamma ray burst and the effects on Earth, and where some of this knowledge came from. But it says that they had arguments for what they were for magnetars were proposed far before the end of 1995. Said, however, at that time, few astronomers were interested in studying this issue of neutron star magnetism. Now, the situation changed dramatically in '98 when many new observational results came flooding in. Marshall Space Center and showed that X-ray emissions from SGR 1806 were pulsating on a regular 7.5 second cycle. That 7.5 per second cycle is the Earth and the Sun and a lot of human activity. These pulsations are almost certainly due to the rotation of a neutron star. As the star turns, bright and dim zones on its surface and its surrounding magnetosphere eventually rotate in and out of view. This means that 1806 had a rotation period of 7.5 seconds. They're saying that they caught it every time it turned around. Guys, I think that theory is wrong, and I'll show you why. But it said in '98 they raised much interest among astrophysicists. Moreover, it seems if the SGRs themselves decided to respond. In other words, this one in '98 was a triggering effect. And we talked about these orbs and balls of energy and how one would trigger the other, or an event like the Marcanian burst in 2013 would trigger this other energy burst, and that's what they're talking about here. To where one star emitted 100 bursts over the next 2 months. Some were doing more than that, guys, but they detected 50 bursts during the last week from SGR 1900. Now, but the reason I say that formula is flawed, because if anybody remember Cygnus 3 when it burst and that gamma ray came out of it, it came out both sides. And as the star rotated, if you were counting that pulse, you were getting 2 per rotation. So they need to slow the rotation speed in half, if you see what I'm saying. They're just like a lighthouse that has dual lights. It's only rotating one time, but you're going to see the flash twice, so cut your speed in half. Now, the body response to this gamma radiation, it breaks down your DNA molecules. A cell may be able to repair the damaged genetic material within limits. It says a study shows that the repair process works well after a high dose, but is much slower in the case of low dose exposure. Doesn't make much sense. It says the new computer models show that a gamma ray burst aimed at Earth could deplete the ozone layer, cause acid rain, and initiate a round of global cooling from as far as 6,500 light years away. Such a disaster may have been responsible for the mass die-off of 70% of the marine creatures that thrived during the Cretaceous period. You can pause that, guys. They've got Swift satellite up now, guys. It's a XRT, and it says the Swift XRT team expects 2014 to be a banner year for the campaign. Are you listening? A cold gas cloud named G2, about 3 times the mass of Earth, will pass near at Sagittarius A and already is being affected by tides from the black hole's powerful gravitational field. Astronomers expect G2 will swing so close to the black hole that during the second quarter of the year it will heat up to the point where it produces X-rays. You think they're trying to get CERN cranked up for that? If some of the cloud's gas actually reaches Sagittarius, astronomers may witness a significant increase in activity from the black hole. The event will unfold under the next few years, giving scientists a front seat to study the phenomena. Astronomers around the world are eagerly awaiting the first sign for this interaction to begin. I bet they are. Crank it up. It says scientists saw what they thought was a sign in April. This is 2013. It says the greatest dangers believed to come from what's called a Wolf-Rayet stars, regarded by astronomers as likely gamma-ray burst candidates. It says, for example, WR104 were to hit Earth with a burst of 10-second duration, the gamma rays could deplete about 25% of the world's ozone layer. This would result in mass extinction, food chain depletion, starvation. You know how our Father can work the 7 trumpets. And the seals, guys, and these events. Now, let's look at some of this in Revelation, because I think it ties directly in. It says, "And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea." This is John, guys. And and he that sat upon the throne said, "Behold, I make all things new." And he said unto me, "Write, for these words are true and faithful." And the nations were angry, and the wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and thou that thou shouldest give us reward unto thy servants, thy prophets, and to the saints and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And what was opened in heaven? The temple. And what was found there? The ark. So if somebody's running around trying to start a fire, guys, that claim to be biblical scholars, where's the ark? It was taken up, just like Moses and Elijah. The ark is in heaven. Where? In the temple of God that's coming here. So there was lightning and voices and thunderings and an earthquake and great hail. What? Great hail, guys. We know that's when we start seeing just before the first trumpet. Psalms had something to say about it. It says, "His going forth is from the ends of heaven, and his circuits unto the ends of it, and there's nothing hid from the heat thereof." Do you know where Sirius D is, guys? Heads up. Our next Blog Talk show will be Wednesday with Michael and Anthony. It's going to be about a lot of these topics. Don't miss it. Heads up.